Kaspa today is Bitcoin 12 years ago when Bitcoin was worth just $100. You have to look historically speaking to understand what we are experiencing today in Kaspa. This downtrend, this macro consolidation is to be expected, and I'm not surprised to see it. This is the Bitcoin we all know and love today, 122,000, but it started a long time ago. You see this down here? This is what I'm talking about. This is where Kaspa is right now, 12 years ago, when Bitcoin was worth $100. Now look at the chart to compare. I mean, this is a massive run that Bitcoin had. Bitcoin at $100, around $90. It experienced an inflection point. This inflection point is very similar to what Kaspa experienced down at 5 cents. Okay, now this is Bitcoin down at 65, something like around $70. And it experienced an inflection point. It was still in a macro downtrend. I mean, its chart back then looked even worse than Kaspa does today because Kaspa is currently in an uptrend. This downtrend is also seeing higher lows. Bitcoin wasn't even experiencing higher lows until it finally broke out from this macro downtrend. So, but look, it didn't break out for the macro downtrend until it was, look, around 90, low 90s. But 100, when it finally reached that 100 range, that's where Bitcoin broke out. So I really do believe we're going to finally have that breakout for Kaspa very soon. I mean, in the coming months. Okay, it could be by the new year. It could be this October. We'll see. Honestly, I'm not expecting too much this month. I'm expecting a lot for the new year. Q4 2025, but most especially the new year for Kaspa and across the crypto market, especially for these mid-cap coins that didn't run like Bitcoin and Ethereum had with their recent, bull cycle. Kaspa's cycle has not even started yet. So this paints the picture of where Kaspa is going to head very soon. Okay, it'll be fantastic to have Kaspa break out in an upward bullish way from this level. I do believe it's very much possible, but I think we still need a lot of time. A lot of time as in just wait for 2026. If you can wait for 2026, that's where we're going to be able to see massive growth up to $1. I think we're going to be able to see basically up to 40 cents, 70 cents, dollar. All of that is fair game. So basically what Bitcoin did during that time, well, the rise was stunning. Okay, this was an incredible point right here, retesting its all-time high. That's something Kaspa will have to do as well. It might happen in early 2026. We'll see exactly. But people that are thinking, oh my gosh, when is Kaspa going to finally run? The whole crypto market, the whole bull market's almost over. No, fam. No, fam. You gotta chill. Really, you gotta chill because Kaspa is experiencing price action very similar to what Bitcoin did in its early days. And it's not just that, but like, check this out. On X as well, you can, this is a really cool post from Cas Media. Shout out to Cas Media. So check this out with this whole Godzilla formation. Now this formation happened to Bitcoin. Look at this. 8 years ago, it experienced a similar chart formation as Kaspa did. Godzilla, you can't make it up. This formation is the most bullish formation you'll see in crypto because what is it doing? It's basically printing this macro uptrend. It's not coming back down to like a floor level. No, it's a rising macro uptrend. And who else did it? None other than Bitcoin. It's a rising macro uptrend. And what happened from here? Well, you already know what happened. It blasted off. So as memey and as funny as it is, well, it has a point. Okay, look at this macro uptrend. I like to show it a lot. The 1,000-day moving average for Kaspa. Again, this goes to show what this whole Stegosaurus or the Godzilla chart really means. It means that macro trend is up. Look, 1,000-day, meaning the price action is finding a nice support level toward this, the head of the Godzilla. Okay, so, and that's going to be able to create an incredible platform, a foundation for a launch pad, essentially, for a massive rocket. And that's you're going to see that, a Godzilla beam. Of course, when you look at a chart like this, price action gets to your head. And there's a lot of people on X that are really fudding like crazy, like, oh my God, they're giving up. But when you see confirmation with time, it'll come that, okay, this was just a V formation of a liquidity grab for market makers, for OGs selling to new holders. This distribution is an incredible V chart, V formation, very, very, very bullish. Essentially put Bitcoin to what? from 70 to 1,250. That's all right, about a 20x in price for Bitcoin. I mean, of course, you can't really compare back then to what it is now, because Kaspa right now is experiencing a consolidation. It experienced its bull cycle, its bear cycle, its consolidation cycle. It's experiencing this at a longer. You see, Kaspa didn't have this back here. Okay, it wasn't trading at such a low value for such a long time. No, it kind of had that explosive growth. And you have to understand that like this was massive gains. A lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but there's people that got in at these early days and they've been offloading Kaspa. The sharks, the whales, they've been offloading. Healthy distribution. And you have to realize that, okay, Kaspa already did like a 500x from its from near its early days. And you're saying like, oh, Kaspa is, it hasn't been seeing any gains. It's been doing terrible compared to other cryptos. No, it hasn't been. It's been doing phenomenal. And now you just have to wait and be a little bit more patient to have that next bull cycle that is absolutely coming. No coincidence that the others chart, the dominance of these others representing all these lower mid cap coins, altcoins essentially, that it's at an extreme low. Even these macro indicators are signaling that this is a extreme low, and they are showing possible signs of a bottom formation happening. At the tops, that's a little bit of a peak. At the bottoms, that's a very clear bottom happening. And if we see down here, it's pretty much mirroring what it did back in 2020. So we'll see exactly how and when it finally has its massive breakout. But I really do believe 2026 is going to be very much a confirmation for this macro bullish cycle across the crypto market, not just for Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance may finally start to peak. Maybe Bitcoin's going to be at 150K and it's just going to consolidate between 150K to 120K while these altcoins have their run, because it's just the movement of liquidity. That's how it works with these cycles. So there's absolutely massive room to go. This cycle has not even started. You have to look away from Solana. You have to look away from Ethereum. You have to look away from Bitcoin. You have to look away from BNB. Look away from the top 5 for a moment, and you'll realize the cycle has not even started. So, of course, Caspa is going to be able to rival the top 5, or at least let's start with the top 10 once it reaches its final evolution, once Dagnite releases, ZK with vProgs. Once all that releases, of course, Igra Labs as another base rollup, when the whole development, the whole ecosystem of Kaspa reaches its end game, basically the best layer 1 that you could possibly have in crypto, that is going to be able to push Kaspa up the rankings. Right now, it's just basically proof of concept. Like, it's not even proof of concept. It's like it's essentially the pre-sale for Kaspa full launch, like official launch. The final evolution is the official launch. Right now we are in that pre-sale stage. Like that's basically where we're at right now. Some people, they need to see it in action, and big money needs to see it in action. Big money needs to be able to place those large orders. There needs to be enough liquidity on tier 1 exchanges. So Kaspa needs those listings, but also Kaspa needs the development releases as well. So don't be thinking like, oh my gosh, what's happening this bull cycle? What's happening? You have to think moving forward. Kaspa needs its development released. Tier 1s will be much more interested to list once everything's out there. And not just tier 1 exchanges, but large investors. Okay, once Kaspa finally has everything out there, it's going to be a lot more interesting for developers, for investors, for exchanges, for literally everyone. It's going to be turning a lot of eyes and attention, and by then, you're going to want to make sure you have your bag secured. Essentially, you want to have your pre-sale secured in Kaspa. Or not, when I say pre-sale, it's an analogy, meaning like how early we are before all this development is from its white paper, but not white paper, from its, essentially its research papers, when it finally all gets onto mainnet. So keep your eyes peeled. And of course, for Nacho, experiencing a very similar consolidation, doing very healthy, doing very well as well. Like, it's the leverage play, it's the leading meme coin, it's the bonk, it's the Shiba Inu of Kaspa. So of course it's doing well. It's holding up the best of the ecosystem, and I'm not very surprised by that. And they have an incredible team, incredible community, and I gotta love it. So this is the time to accumulate both Kaspa and Nacho. And yeah, if you're not bullish right now, I mean, you're gonna miss out, and you're gonna be buying once the experiences that breakout. You may end up buying back at all-time high. Like it's crazy how fast the breakout happens as well. All it needs is 1 month. That's all it needs is 1 month to go 20x in price. 1 month. All it takes, all it needs. Look at all the breakouts that happened with Caspa, with Bitcoin, for whatever. Look at this. 1 month. 1 month is all it takes to have a massive run. You do not want to miss it. You absolutely do not want to miss that run. So lock in, get your bags, get your tantrum. If you want to hold on, if you want to stake and whatever, do anything on the L2, get your ledger. Yeah, because ledger, it's compatible with MetaMask on the L2 with Kasplex EVM. It's going to be compatible with Igra Labs as well through MetaMask. Like, so yeah, Ledger is getting natively compatible. Caspa is getting natively compatible on Ledger through Ledger Live, but to get it compatible right now with your assets on the L2, that MetaMask with Ledger works. So that's what I'm personally doing. I do suggest that, especially if you're holding a lot. But yeah, lock in, and you gotta keep that long-term mentality. Otherwise, you're just not gonna make it. It took a lot of patience for these early holders and these top coins, and if you can't be patient, then you're just not gonna make it. That's the way of the game. So.